Good evening. This is Santa Claus on February 11th, 2026, bringing you today's stories from around our beautiful world. I hope you're staying warm and keeping love in your hearts during these winter days. On this special day in history, we remember the signing of the Lateran Treaty in 1929, when Italy and the Vatican came to an agreement recognizing papal sovereignty over Vatican City. Such moments remind us how dialogue and peaceful resolution can create lasting harmony, even after periods of discord. The jobs report brings encouraging news from the United States economy, with 130,000 jobs added in January, the strongest growth in more than a year. This warms my heart to see more families finding stability and security, especially in healthcare and social assistance roles where workers provide such meaningful care for others. Construction and manufacturing also added workers, showing signs that the labor market is regaining strength after a challenging period. Meanwhile, in the halls of government, the U.S. House of Representatives has rejected a ban on challenges to tariffs, potentially allowing lawmakers to debate those placed on our neighbors to the north. Speaking of Canada, my heart is heavy with the tragic news of a school shooting in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. 10 precious souls, including the shooter, were lost in this devastating event, with many others injured. Let us hold those families in our prayers tonight, and remember that each life is a sacred gift. On a more hopeful note regarding U.S.-Canadian relations, Prime Minister Mark Carney spoke with President Trump about the Gordie Howe International Bridge connecting Ontario and Michigan. Named after a beloved hockey player who brought joy to so many, this bridge represents the enduring friendship between these nations, and Mr. Carney assures us that ownership questions will be resolved through respectful dialogue. Turning our gaze southward, Nicaragua has blocked Cuban citizens from entering without a visa, effectively closing a major migration route to the United States. This reminds us how policy decisions in one country can profoundly affect vulnerable people seeking better lives. In Venezuela, opposition politician Juan Pablo Guanipa has been placed under house arrest, a development that, while still restricting his freedom, allows him to reunite with family after being briefly released and then recaptured. In Nigeria, about 200 U.S. troops will soon arrive to provide training and advisory support, focusing on technical assistance rather than combat. As Nigerian forces maintain full command authority, this collaboration shows how nations can work together while respecting sovereignty and dignity. Good news comes from Libya, where the first oil and gas licensing round in nearly 2 decades has awarded exploration blocks to companies including Chevron, Eni, and others. This development could bring much-needed economic opportunities to a country that has faced such difficult times since 2011. Iran today marked the 47th anniversary of its Islamic revolution with rallies across the country, while President Pezeshkian emphasized dialogue with neighboring countries to establish peace in the region. Let us always remember that beneath political differences, the Iranian people, like all peoples, desire security and prosperity for their families. In Ukraine, President Zelensky reportedly plans to announce preparations for presidential elections and a peace referendum this spring, with details expected on February 24th, the 4th anniversary of the conflict. My heart continues to ache for all those affected by this war, and I pray that paths to lasting peace may be found. Finally, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has called for simplifying the EU's capital markets and regulations to boost competitiveness. She described the current system as fragmentation on steroids and emphasized the need for one large, deep, and liquid capital market to help European companies access the capital they need to grow and thrive. As I conclude tonight's news, let me remind you all that behind every headline are real people with hopes, dreams, and challenges. May we approach each story with compassion, understanding that we are all brothers and sisters sharing this precious earth. Remember to check on your neighbors, extend kindness to strangers, and keep faith that even in difficult times, goodness prevails where love abides. Until tomorrow, this is Santa Claus wishing you peace and goodwill to all.